Hello, this is Michelle McMillionaires. I am the author of Beauty Secrets for Your Soul, Golden Angelic Wealth Codes. It is a novel found on Amazon worldwide. Yay! And a beautiful bookmark to go with it. Found inside Michelle McMillionaire's school classroom. Michelle McMillionaire's school is specifically designed for those who are ready to level up. All right. For sensitives who are ready for the next step of transformation. Now, what does that look like for you, darlings? Okay. Well, one of the things I want to mention, all right, uh, with regards to your next level, okay. Uh, uh, Recently, I have been speaking about your new ground floor, okay, getting that stabilized. So, why would I want to speak about your new ground floor? Okay. Um, because you're no longer available to playing it small. And that begins now. Hmm. Okay. Doesn't matter where you've been, okay? Because all the results that you've achieved in your life thus far is simply showing you where you are right now. Okay. They're not showing you where you're growing. Okay. Like my bamboo plant growing. Okay. And that is where you step into your new high standard identity, okay, where your basis of your environment, okay, what you're holding in here in your environment, internal environment, and that reflects in your external environment that you're creating. So even if you're having like an off day, all right, you're just like, ah, ah, okay. You're floor. Okay. Your new floor, higher standard operating system stays intact no matter what. No matter what. Cheers. Okay. And if you find your ground floor, all right, uh, is like when you're having an off day, like you don't even have one anymore, then you haven't um created that higher standard and stabilized it yet. All right. And what this requires is habit. Okay. Not the Hobbit. Well, that's an interesting story, isn't it? Ooh. Anyhow, habit. Okay. So your new floor, okay, um, it doesn't move, meaning no matter what, that is where your standard is on a great day, and w- you'll know when you've got it, even though you're having one of those days where you're like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, right? Mm, you're stabilized because you built the habits to stabilize that. And they're daily, no matter what. No matter what, stabilized. All right. So, for instance, if you have a habit, okay, and you want to create good, healthy habits for yourself, all right, and they require at least 30 days or 30 days. All right. Consistency. All right. Means you show up to yourself on a continuous basis. And especially so when no one is around, because it's you loving you. Okay. Often in my book, and when I speak, I'll say, love you, right? Why? Because I'm your reflection in the mirror, darlings, simply expressing how much you're loved. I'm the mirror, okay? And if you're not even a great mirror for your own self, then Who is? Okay. So, um, this is where that ground floor higher standard arises with appeal to where you are growing and who you've already become because your awareness is already there. You already can achieve it. Mm. All right. So here's how you can uh, dismantle anything that may arise in your life that you're like, "Mm, mm, okay." We've all been there. All right. So, one of the things in Michelle McMillionaire School we practice, all right, and I lead via action, consistency, and I show every one of my members how I show up daily so that they too can see what that looks like in the mirror of life. You can get rich with appreciation, or what some refer to as gratitude. All right. So, how do you get rich? Gratitude. Aha! Right? Seems so simple. Okay. Allow me to explain for a moment. Okay. As a mentor, what I showed you is how to dismantle, okay, your lower frequencies because those um, aren't getting you anywhere. Okay. Gratitude and or appreciation cannot exist in the same circulation of energy in your life at the same time. So, when you literally engage, and I mean you feel it, and you're not just typing it out or writing it out or just like, oh, I gotta go get my grapefuls done today, right? And you want to have an A plus attitude with your gratitude. Okay. Why? Because you get more of it. All right. This is important. So when you're in an attitude of gratitude, the other can't be there at the same time. Thus, you are dismantling, um, and you can't hold that vibration. Okay. And it isn't just about raising your vibration gratitude for an hour and then the other 23 hours of your day, right? You go back into your old standard. Mm-mm. And when you have the habit, right, it increases that happiness, joy, love, grace, exuberance in your life. There went a Porsche outside, a white one. Whoosh! Mm, cheers to that. Oh. I'm in the middle of a talk and I'm staring at Porsches, right? High vibe car, right? World class as I'm recording and teaching this particular class here today goes by a world class car in my mirror, right? I wasn't looking for it, but they showed up, right? And I'm like, zoom, zoom, baby. Yeah. All right. So, what I'm sharing with you, okay, is that when you're exuding energy, when your awareness is enough that you hold your habit and you know you're on your new ground floor because on your worst day, it doesn't budge. That is when you know. It's easier to hold it, of course, when you're having a great day, right? You're like, okay. However, when things get going, and we've all experienced those moments in our inner world and or our outer world or both, right? So even at your worst, you still maintain. That is when you've established your new ground floor of success, all right? So, yeah, and you've got to stay consistent because what you're consistent in creates a new pattern. That new pattern is also known as your new paradigm of success. And that is where you're going and flowing. All right. That's why I wrote this novel book. All right. Beauty Secrets for Your Soul. Okay. Because your gorgeous imagination creates the preview of what's to arrive soon. Okay. And that is prosperous wealth, prosperous health, and prosperous relationships. All right. Because what you focus on expands. So you want to keep focusing on appreciation because it's going to lead to this. All right. So I could say, I'm so happy and appreciative that I create my own economy where my previous yearly income is now my daily income of, you fill in the blank for yourself, whatever that number is for you, darlings. I know what my number is. All right. So, part of the grace, part of the gratitude, getting rich with gratitude is simply becoming aware of, appreciative of something you're already aware is going to arrive. And that is where you walk with grace to it. You walk with gratitude to something you're already aware it's going to arrive because you know it. Okay. So when you know this, right, and you create the gratitude, you have the attitude gratitude, right, ingrained in your membrane, you look forward to it. Why? Because you're aware that it is going to dissipate anything of old energy that, maybe, right? And then you exude. Okay. So, for instance, uh, yesterday, okay, uh, I made a decision. I'm going to the beach. Okay. Now, my new ground floor is in the Tampa, Clearwater, Florida area now. All right. Ah, so happy about this, right? It's exuding. And I made this happen because I made a decision. Okay. Then uh, y- yesterday morning, I made a decision. I'm going to the beach. Now, originally, I was thinking, well, I need to go to the market and I wanted to experience the Whole Foods market because I hadn't been there yet in this area. All right. And that is all I was aware of. And then when I was going over how I was gonna create my day, the whole beach scenario showed up internally. And I was like, oh gosh, can I get that in with all the other things I was feeling and thinking about I wanted to achieve? Yes, I did. I got all those done too. I was beyond pleasantly surprised. I was feeling like, oh, oh, ah, ah, top of the world. All right. So let's speak about gratitude for a moment, okay? And not taking yourself for granted. You got one opportunity of today. This is not a dress rehearsal, people. This is life. And everything you say and do matters. So you want to be the best you could be at all times. All right. So there it was at Whole Foods Market, right? And they had a super greens cold pressed juice I had never tried. I was like, wow. And I was going to go for my regular uh, super fruit greens with a different company that I knew they carried. However, I was like, whoosh, I'm going to try theirs, right? I walked up to go find it, and the people were saying, oh, it's over in the produce section. And I was like, well, okay. So I went to go see what they had, right? And their green ones were 50% off. I was like, whoosh. I wasn't looking for the sale. I was just looking for the brand and what they had available, right? Half off, right? Who doesn't love a good deal? And I'm like, woo, 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 right? That was just the juice, okay? Then I went over to their salad bar to see what their daily offerings were. So I'd made a decision, spent an hour at the house, kind of preparing everything that I felt I may need for a day at the beach, right? And I'd never been to the beach on the west side of Florida yet. Okay. So I did all the preparing as best I knew how. All right. And then I went and got proper foods to support because I didn't know what they'd have in their local area for a high standard vegan lady such as myself. So I prepared the foods, got it at Whole Foods, sat down there, gorgeous outdoor setting over at Whole Foods, dined there. Before I left, figured out how to navigate to the beach from there. All right. And then when I arrived, hmm, okay, I'm looking at the beach area. Now, okay, from one viewpoint, it looks like abundance. And it is. Okay. And you're like, Michelle, what are you speaking about? Abundance at the beach? Yeah. All right. They had an abundance of umbrellas, lawn chairs set out for everyone. I couldn't even see the water. And it was like, all right, there's something, okay, in one aspect, I'm looking at the abundance of umbrellas, chairs, their entrepreneurship, However, couldn't even see the ocean from where I was when I was driving by. And I went, "Mm, not for me," because it looked crowded. I couldn't even see what the sea looked like because it was row of umbrellas and chairs. I was like, oh, this is too much for somebody like me. Too crowded. And I didn't even know where to park. How you get one of those cabanas with I'm sure I could have figured it out to go be in an overcrowded beach area with all these other people, right? It was like, couldn't even see the ocean. I was like, God, no, 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 no. So I kept driving. So I was feeling in my heart of awareness, there's got to be something better. Skip. And so I skipped that, kept driving. I had no clue where I was headed, but it just said beaches this way. So I was like, well, looks like I'm going to the next beach. And so I was just reading signs. I didn't know where I was going. So I was trusting. And then ended up at this place called Sands Key Beach. So I followed it in, and and then I parked, and I couldn't figure out the parking because things have changed. Okay. Anyhow, so I got assistance with figuring out how to park, and they have this whole automated system for parking, and I got through that. Uh, Already have my swimsuit on and all that. However, wanted to make sure I had lots of extra layers of coconut oil so I would tan and not burn so easy, right? So I did all that, got my bags ready, my bodyboard ready. I'm now walking out to the beach, and all of a sudden there's a storm, and they won't let anybody out onto the beach. I'm like, hmm, all right. I'm sitting there going, I can't believe I went through all this, and they're not even allowing anybody out onto the beach now. And it was the moment I started. And, and let me tell you, because I'd been preparing to go out there since early morning, right? And I was like, I can't believe this is happening. So I can't believe I did all this to not experience the beach, and I just paid for the parking all day, and now they won't even let us out to the beach. And I'm like, hmm. So I was like, fine, I'm gonna sit here, wait it out, and we'll see what happens. So I did. Meanwhile, 80% of the people scrambled, maybe even 90. Nope, not me. I sat there. I said, I'm invested. I'm going to go to the beach and having awareness that this is going to be a sensational day, no matter what. So I had a party in the car, sat there, ate some of my delicacies from Whole Foods, right? Um, and the storm, it was blowing, it was lightning, it was all sorts of rain and wind. And in about an hour, it transcended. It even cooled the weather. And then I was like, wonder if they'll let people out now. They did. Oh my goodness. So glad I waited. I didn't go with the Joneses and leave defeated, going, I waited because I knew that is trust in self. Okay. And I had a great time in the car. I'm like, it's warm rain. I had the windows down. I was feeling it. I was like, is this one of those moments I should go outside and go dance in the rain? I could have. However, I was fine in my car. All right. And so I relaxed, got out there, experienced the best beach day ever. I was so happy. Okay. And this is where that appreciation of the new ground floor, where are your standards? All right. Where's your awareness? Right? I just kept focusing on when I was in the car. I'm so happy and appreciative. I have all this great food and drink with me. I'm so happy and appreciative. I have coconut oil with me. I'm so happy and appreciative. I have a beautiful swimsuit and nice lightweight cover up to go with it. I am so happy and appreciative. I have a beautiful sun hat, right? So, what you focus on expands, okay? I was so happy and appreciative. I had a bodyboard with me, right? Ready to go. Surf, right? Not really. Bodyboard, whoosh, not really surf, right? But I like to pretend, right? Surf, okay. It's kind of funny because I don't know how to surf, but I know how to boogie board. Okay. So I went out there. The water was crystal clear. Sand was so wonderful on my feet. The warm waters, it was taking a bath. All right. And in the morning, I was negotiating with myself. Well, because I hadn't made the decision I was going to the beach yet. All right. I was gonna get up, take a nice warm bath at home with magnesium, bathe, get my hair done. And I said, nah, I'm gonna go bathe in the ocean with salt water. Okay. I did that. Skip the home bath, right? I went out and bathed out in the ocean, right? Cleansing salt water. Our physical bodies, people, are made of what? 70, 80% salt water. So I was bathing in the, uh, you know, the own, my own constituency of matter, of being in human form. All right. Water body, I'm in a larger water body, okay, small water body, in the larger water body, bathing, no longer available to playing it small, like in a little bathtub, right? Went in and got to the grand bathtub of Earth, right? Better waters. I didn't wash it off. Look how great my hair looks, right? I didn't go home and wash it or rinse it or do any of that. Salt water did it for me. It looks good, right? Skin looks good. I was super happy out there, right? Moving my body, okay? Doing my merlady thing, right? Okay? Working with muscles, right? Toning this whole body in a warm bath at the same time. So it depends upon what your awarenesses are, right? Many of you take for granted what I do. I'm not sure why. Very few people operate at the levels I do. Very few with this kind of awareness, right? And uh anyhow, so would you I make things look easy. That I'll let you know. All right. However, things that I do, all right, moving weather patterns, all right, having world class experiences, achieving things that bring me joy. Because the more joy that I'm experiencing, woo, I'm into a larger game, higher floor standard, and I'm in exuberance. And that feels great. All right. So uh, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's lesson. All right. At Michelle McMillionaire School. And for those of you tuning in, you can see the value. This is just uh, mentions here, all right, of transforming into experiencing a legendary life of freedom. And I know you want that too in your way. All right. So when you're ready, hop on aboard, be an integral part of the Shamik Millionaire School. If you're already inside the school, you have options to up, level up your membership to premium. It's 144 for premium right now. And or VIP 1111 for VIPs because what you invest in matters. Okay. Mm. And I am quite certain of that when you're ready to level up with your next level of transformation and joy at every level of your life. Mm. And that time is now. That means today. All right. Because all people who make decisions, all right, they do it quickly and they make it happen accurately to the best of their ability. That's what I did with the whole Sans key decision yesterday. I made a decision. And even though when the road became a bit like, ah, okay, my default floor of nutrition did not move. I hung out and had a party in the car. Okay. And also with my attitude. I was like, this too shall pass. I didn't know when. Trusted, faith, gratitude, grace, and it all worked out eloquently. All right. So, with more freedom, happiness, joy, let me tell you, that cup spilleth over into today. And I'm like, ah, okay. That is where the continuation keeps flowing. It's how you create a flow state of awesome energy. Hey,